Following is a special presentation on TNN, the Nashville Network.
Three weeks ago in old Tucson, TNN kicked off Winter Heat. Full-bodied, full-size pickup trucks like the best-selling vehicles in the United States today are under the green. How long do you think before we see running around the streets of Charlotte trucks with roll bars sticking out the back window and big long chin spoilers? About a week or two.
I think this answers the question, is this good racing or what? You know, I guess everybody had questions about whether these trucks were really going to put on the type of racing at all. Once the Cup, the modified people are used to, this is the answer right here. There's certainly as good a race as you'll ever see anywhere. And I guarantee you, you can look out in the parking lot here, and every third car is a pickup truck, and it's the thing that's going to happen.
Last tour around the track for Rick Corelli.
He liked winning on TNN. The last time we had him on there, he won at Phoenix. Here he is winning the first truck race to TNN.
Checkered flag for Rick Corelli. TNN Motorsports proudly presents Winter Heat from Tucson, Arizona. Today featuring the SuperTruck Series. Great day for racing here as Christmas approaches. There's lights and ornaments on the cactus out here in Arizona, and I hope it's somewhere near today's 60-degree temperatures where you are. We get set for round 4 of Winter Heat and the second appearance of the SuperTrucks. Been some driver changes and some new trucks added to the field. We've got some Winston Cup and Busch drivers here. Some we'll talk to and some we'll see on the speedway today. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Joy as we get set for the second appearance of the SuperTrucks coming up here in just moments. There's one fellow from back east that you knew if it had wheels, well, he'd find a way to have one if it went around an oval, and he's here, ready and strapped in. Glenn Jarrett's with him.
Well, Mike, he graciously waited to strap in to talk to us, and whatever he drives, he does awfully well. He also likes winning on TNN. His last Winston Cup victory came at Dover there on TNN. And Ken Schrader, we know you like to drive, but all the way to Tucson to drive a pickup truck?
I laid on the couch and watched the last SuperTruck race from home. I said, that's not going to work. So we hustled us up a truck to drive this time. Rick Hendrick let us drive his DuPont truck.
Well, you've had some practice laps, awfully good qualifying run. You're in third position. What do you think of them so far?
It feels just like a Winston Cup car with a lot more headroom inside.
Okay, well, we got to bet that he'll lead a lap sometime during today's race. I think he's going to pay off for us, Mike.
I think so, too, Glenn, and that's a good comparison. Scott Lagacy will drive that truck during the regular season when it starts at Phoenix. Well, Buddy Baker, we had a great battle in the first SuperTruck race. Rick Corelli holding off P.J. Jones and Ron Hornaday. What do you expect today?
Well, just like Kenny just said, once the Cup car with more headroom, let me tell you, every week they work on these things. They get a little better on the chassis setups and everything. These trucks are for real, and you're going to see a great race today.
Chevys, Fords, and a Dodge. All three U.S. manufacturers are here in the SuperTruck Series, so strap in and get ready to hang on. We'll be right back with you live on TNN after this.
Today's exclusive coverage of the NASCAR Winter Heat Series.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Big cheer just went up for the Dodge contingent. Their lone representative, Walker Evans, today. Well, Ron Hornaday and Rick Corelli have fought many battles on this and the other speedways of the West. Some folks think it's a healthy rivalry. Some folks think it's a bitter one. So we asked Ron Hornaday, well, how about this today? Rick Corelli beat you last time out in the SuperTrucks. Ron, is this a grudge match?
Not really, but I tell you what, it's getting sick of him winning me every time. We ran tour race the same way. We ran 60 laps the last half of it. Come about 2 seconds, 2/100ths of a second, him beating me across the line. So we've been having some good races. Tucson's got a heck of a track here, and just NASCAR put something together what I think is going to be the best thing ever. That's why they call it SuperTruck.
Well, and the only man to have beaten Ron Hornaday thus far in Winter Heat is Rick Corelli, but today he sits way back in 11th position. A little bit of trouble qualifying there, Rick.
Yeah, we had the truck a little too tight when we qualified, so, you know, we're back here so far. They got to pipe daylight to it, but we're carrying this inboard camera for TNN, and we hope we can get some good shots of people out there coming up through the front.
Well, I heard you and Gary Ballou talking before you strapped in your trucks. You feel like that you can get to the front, though.
I think so. You know, the truck's a little different. That's why we're down here experimenting. Everybody's coming out with these new trucks, and
this series down here is just now to experiment, get used to the way the trucks drive, and see how they're going to run in Phoenix, and we're getting ready. That's why we're down here with a different combination.
Well, same truck, but you did make some changes.
Yeah, actually what we did, we changed the motor combination, some header combination, put a new tail on it, and a new front end, and the way it looks like right now, I'm back here at 11th, but you know, about 20 laps into the race, we'll see where we're at and how the truck's going to drive.
Okay, he's 1-0, he's undefeated, but he's got to be wondering about those changes starting back here, Mike.
I think so, Glenn. We're joined by Johnny Benson Jr., who finished in the top 5 in the first Super Truck appearance. I know you were humming along pretty good this morning, and what happened?
I'll tell you what, Kurt Rorick and the whole team had a great truck for us. We were pretty quick, but a little misfortune with throttle sticking and kind of got in the fence with it.
And what happened to it?
Well, definitely bent it up. You know, it's one of them deals where we're here to win. It would have been tough to get it ready for the race. So being a one-day show, they loaded up and they're already gone. They're heading to North Carolina to get it all fixed up again.
Yeah, the engine in that Performance Friction Carbon Metallic Chevy was pushed forward, buddy, about 2 inches. And even if they could have got a suspension under it, it's not going to run well like that.
Well, you know, everybody says the throttle sticks, what do? Everybody says just cut the switch off, it'll quit running. When you drive it in as deep as you can like he did, throttle hangs, the next thing you see is a wall. That's it.
Well, John, we're sorry you're out of the race today, but we're glad you're going to join us for part of today's telecast.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I like being up here with, you know, yourself and Buddy here, but I prefer to talk to you after the race instead of before.
Okay. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Tucson. That big cheer is because they've fired engines on the Super Trucks. For their second of 3 appearances, they'll be back here January 8th as well as winter heat rolls on. Let's show you how they're going to line up for this second event. Ron Hornaday Jr., third in the first race. He's on the pole, and last time's pole sitter Mike Skinner has the outside of the front row, the Richard Childress Chevy. Kenny Schrader lines up inside row number 2. Craig Hewardson shares the second row. He's also in a Chevy. P.J. Jones, second place finisher last time out, is in a Ford, and Mike Chase has stepped into a Ford, West Coast champion. Steve McEachran's Chevy, number 54. Mike Bliss sitting in for Robbie Gordon in the Jim Smith Ford. T.J. Clark has his Ford, and Dave Ashley's Ford in row 5. Last time out, the winner was Rick Corelli. He's way back in 11th, and Gary Ballou starts 12th. Toby Butler makes the trek from North Carolina out here to start inside of row number 7, as does Kerry Teague from Kannapolis. Heat truck, we'll tell you about that in a minute. Walker Evans has the only Dodge in the field, the off-road star, and Mike Hurlburt from the Northwest is outside of the 8th row. All right, Kerry Teague, that's Kerry Teague truck, and Rick Corelli also stopping, either to perhaps cinch up the belt, index the wheel, or...
Mike, that's what they're doing. They're indexing the wheel. A lot of times you'll get on the straightaway and the wheel will be almost like a turn. You don't want the forks turned the wrong way, so you line it up and go again.
Take a couple of laps here under yellow, set things up. The Total Petroleum number 6, the Chevron Chevrolet of Rick Corelli, will be carrying our TNN onboard camera today. There's a look at the race cam over his shoulder. And you see all that headroom Kenny Schrader talked about. Well, we can't call it bumper cam. I guess you'd have to call it truck bed cam. It's mounted on the roll bar strut coming back into the bed. But that'll give you a view out the back and out the passenger side window, the doggy out the window cam, as they like to call it. Some special rules for the Winter Heat Series. At halfway, 100 laps, we'll take a 15-minute break, and the teams will take their trucks, if I say cars, it costs me $1 every time, to the back pit for normal pit stop repair. You cannot change tires under caution unless they're flat or leaking air. If there's a caution in the last 10 laps, the restarts will be single file, cars on the lead lap up front. And if it's yellow at 100 laps, we'll go green, white, checker to finish it off under the green flag. Tucson Raceway Park, interesting little racetrack, 3/8 of a mile oval, not much straightaway, a lot of corner, looks a lot like Hickory or Orange County back east, but they have a progressive or compound banking in the corners. 6 degrees on the bottom lane, 9 degrees in the middle, and 12 degrees up top. Last time the trucks were here, here's how they finished. Rick Corelli the winner, P.J. Jones in a Ford, Ron Hornaday, those were all Hutcherson-Pagan built chassis, Dirk Stevens in the VSR Hess Ford, and Johnny Benson finished in the 5th spot. Getting set for green to start the first of the two 100-lap segments. Hornaday on the pole, Skinner outside, and we are under green. See how quick Hornaday can work himself up into that top groove.
You see Kenny Schrader moving on the inside, trying to get in the second spot right there. And Kenny's going to find out there's a lot of competition here. Even though these guys, it's the second time out with the truck, they learned so much that first race. And it's going to take, I don't care who it is, a little bit of time to get adjusted to the way they set these trucks up to get the most out of them.
Johnny, what was the biggest adjustment of getting in a truck?
Well, there wasn't too much of an adjustment, just everybody being new to myself, you know, not running with everybody. And the track itself, it's a great racetrack, but you would think you'd run the bottom, and obviously you can see the top's a fast way around.
You see Mike Skinner here in second place, the Dale Earnhardt look-alike truck. He told me one thing. He said he had a setup on that truck right now that was going to be a little bit slower, but a lot better to race. So he didn't want to go out here and set a pace like he did in the first race, get him straight away ahead, and then end up a lap down when halfway comes.
Last time we were here, I don't think anyone knew what to expect. Hardly anybody had run 100 laps on a track like this, let alone 200 in one of these trucks. And we ended up with some great racing. Well, that Hornaday-Corelli rivalry is going to take a while to build here. Corelli started in 11th, Hornaday on the pole, and he is not waiting around.
Well, he's fixing to get some company. You can see Mike Skinner. The truck is really running straight off the corner. He's gaining a little bit on Hornaday now as we speak. Looks like he's pulling down to about a car length or truck length here. Excuse me for that.
Toby Butler has moved up to 8th spot in truck number 12. There's a look at Butler in the Venable Racing Ford as he tracks down Craig Hewitson from Florida in the AC Delco Chevy.
Didn't take Toby long to figure out when you want to pass, you must pass coming off the corner on the bottom part of the racetrack. A lot of people set their truck up to really accelerate off the bottom part of the racetrack. Did you find that was the place to pass, Johnny, when you were running here?
Yeah, there's no doubt. If you can get the truck hooked up down there and get a good run coming off, that's the place to be, because you can get through the center of the corner and you don't get back up. You know, we see, you know, Rick Corelli trying that move right now, and, you know, it's not going to work. It just started to slip.
Here's Butler down to the inside on Hewitson. Ford against Chevy side by side out of 4. Makes the pass.
Yep, there you go.
What I was talking about. He made it look so easy once he got the position on the bottom to accelerate and go right straight out towards the wall.
Let's take you back up front. Ron Hornaday out in front of Mike Skinner.
Kenny Schrader, he don't need a windshield. He was looking out the side window coming off the corner just then. They do run a little bit loose here as the tires get hot, and that's the one thing you have to do. You have to have the car or truck really set for a slick racetrack. That's $200.
Well, that's one thing nice with these trucks. You can get them out of shape and kind of dirt track them a little bit and gather it back up, let tires cool, and get going fast again.
On the outside, that's T.J. Clark in the Castrol Ford, and Rick Corelli moving underneath.
Rick Corelli is so good on the throttle up out of the corner. You see him getting up the side now. He makes the move, coming off the corner there, takes the position away.
Clark right back after him on the bottom side, but Corelli prevails for the moment. Right behind them, good battle as well. There you see it back there. That orange truck on the bottom is Kerry T. As they get into a little bit of lap traffic, and up high in the 31, Gary Ballou. If you're a Northeast Modified fan, you know that name.
Gary Ballou's running very well, but Kerry T, you can see how loose these trucks are getting right now up off the corner. You really have to massage that throttle because they have a lot of horsepower. 660 horsepower they're running right now.
Now that 51 truck of Kerry T, well, I don't know if it's in there right now, but in practice, they did have a gun rack mounted in the back window of Kerry Teague's truck. Thought they'd have a little fun. Not sure if it's still in there, but during practice, it definitely was. And a trailer hitch to tow the bass boat.
Well, Kerry's got the thing hooked up pretty good. He's running very well for the first time. They built this truck in about a week and a half, so there's a lot of work went into this thing, and a lot of people he said he wanted to thank for all the help to get him out here because he really wanted to be in the Super Truck Series.
Gary Ballou with backing from Chevrolet. He's been looking forward to this series very much. Glenn talked to him earlier, asked Ballou if he was ready to get back at it and go NASCAR racing once again.
Oh, man, can't wait, you know what I mean? This has been the greatest thing that's happened to us in several years, and we're pumped about it. I mean, we just really want to get after it and do this thing right. And we've got 2 or 3 major sponsors lined up, and I can't wait to get after them.
Blues after him right now. 19 laps complete. And up front, Ron Hornaday now has Mike Skinner closing in.
Well, Mike, it's exactly what Skinner said the truck would do. He had it set up to really be tight, not too fast in qualifying, but you see right now he is closing down on Hornaday. If anything, he's getting better forward bite up out of the corner, getting in super well there. You see him close in almost a truck length going in the corner.
20 laps complete, make it 21. Ron Hornaday leading Mike Skinner, Kenny Schrader, B.J. Jones, and Mike Chase. We'll be right back. Where they run radio spots for this series, and they say fans will sell you a seat, but you're only going to need the edge of it. And that's the way it's been here these last few laps between Ron Hornaday in 75 and Mike Skinner in the number 3.
Well, Mike Skinner got all the way up the side of him while his way to break, and Hornaday accelerated a little bit better off the corner. But I tell you, these 2 trucks are running so evenly right now, it's going to be the guy that makes the first mistake that really pays the penalty right now.
B.J. Jones has passed Kenny Schrader for 3rd. Schrader is in 4th. Mike Chase, West Coast champ, is in 5th. Winston West chance. Here goes Skinner.
Boy, I tell you, he's got her hooked up. Hornaday will not give up any real... Oh, a little bit loose coming out of the corner there. Hornaday gets that move back up. They touch a little bit getting in the corner. Mike Skinner was very lucky to save that truck.
I'll tell you what, right there, you know, like I was saying earlier, you can get this truck sideways, just let it cool down. He'll be right back there in another lap or 2, and he'll be right side by side there again.
They put a lap on Lyndon Washington's Mike Hurlburt, the RPM Racing Ford, and get right back after it.
Johnny, just how good are these tires? Once you heat them up like that, do you have to really ride for a lap or 2 just to cool them back down, or are they good enough to just keep abusing them?
Well, you can abuse them a little bit, but, you know, being 200 or, you know, running 100 laps and then another 100, you know, you got to be careful, so you don't want to get them too hot for more than, you know, 2-3 laps if you're really getting it sideways. And it's good to let them cool. You know, it's like, it's not as critical as, you know, the radio tire, but the bias ply tire does take a little bit of abuse.
A little further back in the field, good battle between Kenny Schrader, who's in the DuPont number 24, Rick Corelli on the 6 on the bottom, and 21 Mike Chase.
Well, Kenny Schrader's going through the same thing that Mike Skinner did last week. He's loose and he's dropping back in the field right now. P.J. Jones has got by him for position just ahead of him. You see what he's doing right now. He just can't pick it up. You see him getting in, coming off the corner very well. He's got plenty of horsepower, but the truck is just not hooked up getting in the corner.
Guy's got the best view of Luce is standing at the exit of turn 2. Glenn?
Like I'm already seeing the trucks move way up on the racetrack coming off of 2 here, right out to the edge of the wall. In the first race, it took them about 100, 120 laps before they got there. And now Ken Schrader has just dropped off the pace in the number 24 truck. He has slowed down the backstretch into turn 3. We got a caution flag.
Yeah, the caution come out. I don't know what happened to Kenny's truck, but just coming off the corner over there, it looked like he might have cut a tire down, or I just really don't know. I'd hate to speculate now, but he's definitely off the pace.
Caution's out at lap 38. Schrader eases around the speedway, and also Kerry Teague is down on the track apron. Show you what happened here once again.
Well, he's coming off the corner just like he always has. You see the truck move up right there. Something dropped out of it. I don't know. He had a power failure there because he moved right up out of the groove and let everybody by.
So this Rick Hendrick truck that Scott Lagasse will drive during the regular season, the road racer out of St. Augustine, Florida, he is here. Schrader trying to get refired up here. May need a little help getting into the pits. So while Schrader takes a pit stop, we will too. We'll be right back live on TNN at Tucson.
Schrader is back in action again. Whatever it was minor, because they fixed it and he's back out in action.
All right. Well, I think that the shade tree mechanics could have helped those guys a little bit. The coil wire came off the truck. When Kenny came to me, he stopped right here at the exit to the racetrack off of turn 2. Was not running. In fact, when I said, you know, when I told you the caution came out, he slowed down. It stopped running abruptly. That's all that happened. They simply raised the hood, reconnected the coil wire. Kenny kind of raised his eyes up like, oh no, how could that happen? Fired it up and went back out there.
So Schrader's back in action as we're under this second yellow of the day. First, second? Well, it's the yellow. Second yellow of the day. Okay. Folks, we have a little deal when we have the truck races. Any of us says car, it's $1 into the box, and we designate a charity. This week it's the Snell Memorial Foundation. They're the folks that do the helmet testing. Most every sanctioning body requires a Snell special application certification on every race helmet. So $1 a piece every time we say car, and it's one of these. Gary Ballou passed the pace car, so he is being held and put back in line. That'll get him in his correct spot. And Ken Schrader is reported 2 laps down after bringing out the caution and rolling the pit road.
Well, he did pass the pace truck.
Oh.
It's going to a good cause.
Add me up. Yeah, it is. Going to be one more lap of caution behind the Chevy Pace truck.
Look who's moved into third place there. P.J. Jones is one of the steadiest young drivers that I've ever watched on a short track. He just keeps on pounding. He's already moved into third, as you see him, the #1 truck right there. Right behind him, big trouble, Rick Corelli.
Right. Scoop Vessels built that #1 truck for PJ's younger brother, Paige, who wanted to finish out the dirt series before this started. Got in a horrendous wreck, and every week we check with PJ, how's your brother doing? Well, ate 3 meals on his own yesterday. They removed the tube from the tracheotomy, and he is coming along. So PJ says I'm going to hold this seat for him until he's ready.
That is great news. Waiting on the green flag here. There it waves, and they're under the green flag.
43 laps complete. As we begin 44 side by side, Gary Ballou getting a little black paint off the #3 truck. Mike Skinner.
Mike Skinner is really working Hornaday over. He's giving him a little touch every once in a while just to let him know I'm still back here. Don't start loafing because I'm ready to take that lead anytime you make a mistake.
Like a little hand check in basketball. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here.
You see Gary Ballou now. He's at the front of the pack. He was kind of midway of the field there. He's able to keep up with the front runners right now, and I don't imagine he's real happy because they held him a while ago, so he's probably trying to get really going here.
Ballou in that white-blue #31 Chevy truck. Here comes Corelli.
Boy, that is a patent move by Corelli. You see him dropping to the bottom of the racetrack. P.J. Jones went down, but he will not crowd him too far because they've raced a many a mile side by side.
Gary Ballou in the 31 is 1 lap down. And here comes P.J. Jones in the Ford.
P.J. kind of moved him over there. Gary Ballou is not one to do that too many times, though.
And Ballou got a little out of the throttle, and there went the #6 of Corelli. That's all it took. Also moving up, 21, Mike Chase, giving a good account of himself, right behind Corelli.
Well, when we found out that Corelli was going to run our cameras in his truck, everybody kind of went, yes, because we knew we was going to see some great shots out of there. And you can see him moving right up toward the front now. He's working on P.J. Jones's back bumper, moves to the inside here, checks him out. He'll get your attention, too.
You'll also see a little bit of a new look on the front and the rear bodywork of Corelli's truck. The Chevy folks have moved the bumper outward, get a little air up and over that grill area like the Fords do. And also they've added a bumper to the rear of that truck.
I'm not sure would want to change too much of that truck. He was so fast earlier, and there he goes, down on the bottom there. If he gets a good run here, he's going to get by him this lap.
Corelli blows it in the corner 3 wide past Steve McEachran.
Well, I tell you, they'll probably run 4 or 5 laps side by side as I say that. You see P.J. closing back in, getting in the corner. He's on the outside there. He can pick up the throttle and run a little faster down the straightaway, but Corelli is super good coming off the corner.
And what's even a bigger surprise, they are gaining on the lead trucks while they run side by side.
Well, these 2 guys right here, they won't be sitting around playing. You see these guys are going after it right now because this might be the determination of who wins the race, whoever gets this break right now.
53 laps complete, 47 to the halfway break. And our halftime show. 9 trucks on the lead lap. Here's Glenn.
I was just wondering, and I'll ask you, Johnny, how much discipline it takes to run way down on the bottom like Pirelli does to keep from turning the truck sideways. Obviously, there's a lot of room down there, but boy, you really have to be careful, do you not?
Yeah, you sure do. You know, Pirelli's about the best one I've seen here to be able to run the bottom and really conserve the tires there. You know, you've seen him slipping and sliding a little bit there, and, you know, he just got behind PJ there, and I think you're just going to see him in another 2-3 laps here. He's going to be back underneath him going at it again.
Pirelli's trying to get up there and deny Ron Hornaday the $5,000 Valvoline bonus for anybody who can win 5 of these 8 winter heat races. So far, Ron, you're the only guy to beat Ron Hornaday.
That's nice to say. I mean, Ron's put on a heck of a show here the last couple of weeks. I mean, he's been running everywhere, and, you know, he's doing a good job for himself getting out there with the Tour car in the Winston West race. I mean, and if I didn't have the opportunity of beating him in the truck race, he'd be 3 for 3. But, you know, he'll be really strong today. And, you know, there's a couple other guys I think will be a lot stronger. And the opportunity when everybody came back with the setup they had last time, you know they got better this time. So, I mean, hopefully we got a little better. And, you know, I look for a good race as we had the last time.
Well, we're getting a tremendous battle out of the top 4 trucks right here. But just behind them, Mike Chase has moved into the battle here in the 21 truck, so he is doing a super good job right now. He's closing in on the leaders. While they're battling for position, he's moving up steadily.
2 by 2, they go into the 3rd corner. 60 laps complete this time by. Watching SuperTruck Racing live on TNN. Ron Hornaday in the 75, Mike Skinner, number 3, P.J. Jones in the number 1 Ford, and Rick Corelli.
Boy, Mike Skinner has made a tremendous change to the chassis on this truck. Last week at this time, he was battling his way to the back of the field. Now he's able to stay up there, stay in contention. Who knows? He may have a little more than we know about right now.
Will Lind is the crew chief on that truck. Long-time mainstay of the Richard Childress organization. Now they're glued kind of nose to tail. What happened here, Johnny? Everybody settle down?
I'm not sure. You know, like I say, they were going at it pretty good there, and I thought we were going to have a 4x4 race rather than a 2x2. And looks like they kind of calmed down a little bit, and you know, they'll be running here pretty good. Pirelli, like I say, he's got a good handling truck right now, and so does PJ. PJ looks really good. I think if he was out front, he'd be pulling away.
You see Mike Chase at the back of the 5th position right there. He is running them down almost a full straightaway in 4 laps there. This truck is really hooked up. You see Corelli looking inside, outside, trying to get by PJ. He may be the fastest truck, but he can't get by P.J. Jones right now.
Yeah, Mike Chase is running that real high groove like I was trying that first week here, and, you know, he looks pretty quick there, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to run the bottom if he's only being able to run the top.
Well, we got them side by side again. Hornaday's on the outside. Mike Skinner on the bottom. Boy, he just can't make that move, Mike.
But he did just like you said, buddy. He cooled his tires, ran a few laps single file, and now he's inching down to that bottom once again.
That'd be interesting to see him if he goes underneath there. PJ will go on the outside, but as we're talking, he gets underneath him, and yeah, he got a little loose there. So
there goes Corelli again up under P.J. Jones trying to get 3rd spot. I believe if he ever clears P.J., he'll go right up beside of Mike Skinner, but that's going to be a tough job. Whew. Well, getting a little sideways there too, Mike.
One guy moves high, and the next one's going to go low. And it only takes a blink of an eye for this to change. Hornaday has led every lap so far. Skinner in 2nd, Jones in 3rd, Corelli 4th, and Mike Chase in 5th.
Mike, they're running almost above the yellow line in the center part of the corner here. They're moving that groove. You see Hornaday, he's actually just a little bit above the yellow line there. And what they're looking for right now is the surface is not real oily, that they can get a good forward bite out of the corner.
Yeah, there's no doubt they can do that, but the thing they got to watch is, especially with Corelli, you give him that half a groove more, and he's going to get underneath you and get by you. You know, he's been having a little tough time on the bottom this week, but it sure looks like he's going to get by him this time.
Here's Corelli's number 6. Now, see how much racetrack he leaves P.J. Jones. Now, P.J.'s got a fender up on him that time, so he couldn't do it, but if he gets alongside you, he won't leave you a lot of racetrack up top.
Well, P.J.'s right now looking straight ahead. He's not looking over at Corelli. He's imagining he's not even there right now. So you don't want anybody to get your attention off of what you're doing, and you start running a ragged line around the racetrack.
Well, there's one thing nice with Rick Corelli is that when you do get side by side with him, he's not going to run into you. And you know, here we got a good battle for the lead here, and it looks like he's going to get by him. That
boy, he made that look good. He went high though, and Hornaday's coming back on the inside to take the spot back.
Mike Skinner's led 1 lap. And this time, lap traffic will help him out. A pick in the form of the Mike Hurlburt truck. And here comes Corelli. Now, he's been 3 wide a bit ago. Let's watch this as they get up into lap traffic. He and PJ side by side. 3 wide into turn 1. And they just leave that lap truck on the bottom like it wasn't there. Corelli has the spot for this instant.
Corelli got the spot just then. He moved into 3rd place on the bottom side. PJ give him a little room, give him a little tap there to let him know, yeah, I seen you move in front of me, but that's okay. Good close racing.
That's why God invented bumpers. 74 laps are complete here at Tucson. Winter heat rolls on. Mike Skinner's now the man up front. Ron Hornaday in 2nd. Rick Corelli, P.J. Jones, and Mike Chase are your top 5. We'll be right back. Festival. No round pegs and square dances here. Mike Skinner out front.
Mike, I'll say one thing. There's no room in the grandstand for another person. These truck races are really packing them in, and they're getting a good race out of this. You see right now, Mike Skinner's got a little bit of an edge, so when they go in at halftime here, you can bet one thing. Everybody's going to be adjusting. Rick Corelli's strong. If he can get by right now, he would love to have that 2nd spot.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's going to want to start on the outside, but, you know, they're just going to go in there and make some changes that they need to the trucks and come back out. It's the second half of the race. That's, you know, they're definitely the one that pays.
If you were going to restart, where would you want to restart for the 2nd segment?
Well, at this particular racetrack, there's no doubt you'd want to pick the outside. I don't believe that's why Ron Hornaday let Mike Skinner by. Skinner's running really good in a good wrench Chevrolet, so, you know, it's just one of them things where he just got by, and it's going to be interesting, the second start, or the start of that second half.
Skinner, your leader. Let's look back. Hornaday in 2nd. 3rd is Rick Corelli. 4th is P.J. Jones. And in 5th, Mike Chase, the Winston West champ. There's the Ortho Chemicals Ford for Mike Chase.
Mike, a while ago, Mike Chase made a tremendous run up there, but all of a sudden, he just started backpedaling. He used his tires up pretty much on that truck, and he's just really hanging on right now, waiting on the 2nd part of this race to start.
Look at all of the tape he's got on that windshield. As Kenny said, a lot of headroom and a lot of place for the sun to come in here from turn 4.
You know, that was a factor for a lot of people here in the first race for the truck event was the blindness going into turn 3 over there. There was an accident, and a guy come through there and just turned somebody because he didn't see the accident happening. Gary Ballew's pulling in on the back straightaway. He's having some kind of problem.
Gary Ballew, 2 laps, or rather 1 lap down, takes his Chevy truck off to the pits. 9 laps to the halfway flag.
You could see Mike Bliss right there. He was trying to keep it as fast as he can. Even though he's going a lap down right here, he was trying to stay in contention. He got the truck all the way sideways coming off that corner. Not a thing you'd want to do.
Earlier today, Glenn asked Mike Skinner, after sitting on the pole, was it a disappointment not to run better last time out?
I'll tell you, we really shot ourselves in the foot last time. You know, the truck just felt so good that I just drove it. I might have overdrove it a little bit. You know, we got a little bit of a lead there, and I backed the truck down, you know, right much, and I thought we were going to be okay, and we were. We were fine on the length of run that we tested to, and you know, when we went over that boundary there, then it really got loose, and when we came in to adjust it, we made a little miscalculation, went the wrong direction. But we've changed it totally from where it was at then, and we've slowed the truck down 2 or 3 tenths, which will probably hurt our qualifying run. But we feel like the truck will race a lot better. If it don't, then we'll go back to the drawing board and probably punish ourselves a little bit more and work on it till it does. We're not going to give up on it.
They're doing a fine job today, but behind him it's a torrid battle for 2nd place. Rick Corelli underneath and all alongside Ron Hornaday.
Boy, he's doing everything he can trying to get the 2nd spot away from Hornaday. You see Rick Corelli, he's really able to turn down in the center of the corner, but boy, Hornaday really accelerates off the corner. 4 laps before halfway.
Yeah, there's no doubt Rick Corelli wants that 2nd spot for that second half, and he's doing everything he can. I don't know if he's going to get by him with 3 laps to go, but he's doing everything he can to get by him.
Well, at the start of the show today, he said he was getting tired of Rick Corelli beating him, and right now he's doing everything he can to keep him behind.
And remember, Hornaday looking for that $5,000 bonus posted by the Valvoline distributor if any one driver can win 5 of our 8 winter heat events.
Here comes Pirelli up along the quarter pound, down the back straightaway. Can't quite do it.
1 to go next time by.
Yeah, he's not going to be saving no tires now. They're going to be changing them here during the yellow, and I'm not sure if he's going to get by him. He's going to put a good run at it, though.
Lap truck might have had something to do with that. Well, Schrader drops the lap. That puts him 3 down as Mike Skinner runs to the caution flag. And we go to halftime with the score. Chevrolet 3, Ford in 4th place. Good run by Mike Skinner. Ed Lanier puts the power to that Chevy truck. It's a Ronnie Hopkins chassis. And of course, Will Lim, the crew chief, Richard Childress, owns that truck. As they get set to go to the pits for the halftime break. Glenn went around this morning and asked some of the drivers what they think of an event where you take time out right in the middle like this one.
It really don't matter. You're really pumped up, you know, to run the whole race, and then you get that break in between, and it kind of, you know, mellows down, and you just got to take it like 2 races. It's pretty tough, but I mean, it actually, it really don't show the teams off. We got a heck of a team with changed tires good, and I'd like to show them off more, you know, for the fans and everything. But it's great. It gives us a chance because the trucks are new. We get us a chance to work with them and come back out and put on a better show the second half.
I dislike it. I think that you know, it should be run just like the Winston Cup cars. I think we should have pit stops, and if we get real bad like that, we can come in and put tires on and work on the chassis and try to correct it. But you know, as long as everybody has to run under the same rules, it really doesn't matter.
You get a timeout, you get a 10-minute break, and you know, it's sort of, you got to refocus yourself. It's like getting all revved up again. If you're out there driving, you're in a swing, you're in a mood, and you get a good rhythm going, and you come in and you break that all. But you know, it gives an opportunity for everybody at home to see what goes on, and then it gives an opportunity for everybody that's a little off on their truck or something to get an opportunity to adjust it and try and get it better in the second half. But you know, if it went 200 laps straight through, I mean, that'd be fine with me. But you know, unfortunately, it's not going to work out that way.
Well, we're standing in front of Ron Hornaday's truck right now. Ron is explaining to his crew, the crew chief, Bill Sedgwick, and it is the right Bill Sedgwick this week, exactly what is going on. They're changing right side tires, as are most of the crews on the trucks right now. Now, they'll have 10 to 12 minutes to do this in. You see some work going on in the right front wheel of Hornaday's car there. Also, some of the guys are looking to tighten these things up. The trucks were very, very loose. The weather is the warmest today that we have seen it since we have been out here, and so therefore the trucks got very, very loose. The racetrack was very slick, so a lot of major adjustments going on over here. We'll update you exactly what the crews have done and try to get a word with some of them when we return to Winter Heat on TNN.
Well, they're racing all around the track here today at Tucson. That's behind the grandstand. A little bit of short track action. Welcome back to Winter Heat. Here's our halftime show, and quickly let's go to the pits. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, thanks, Mike. I'm in the pit of the leader right now, Mike Skinner, and he's getting a thumbs up from the crew. Everything looks to be okay. A little bit different story this time, Mike. Looks like the truck's really stayed under you.
Well, we changed everything but the steering wheel on this truck, and we didn't know what it would do on a long run. We was hoping that the truck would be a little bit better. We're not real quick at the start, and I think we're just going to leave it that way. It don't pay anything to lead the first part of this thing. And just hope like the Dickens that the thing will work good at the end of the race as well as it did at the end of the first 100.
Well, it looked like that the truck was really stable. In fact, we figured, and you showed it, that you had the fastest truck there. The truck looked like it performed pretty well. It didn't get as loose as everybody else.
Yeah, I think we could have got to the front a little bit quicker, but we were really trying to be patient. They were talking to me a lot on the radio, and you know, this team, you know, with GM Goodwrench and Resist All Hats, Snap-on Tools, AC Spark Plugs, all the help we got on this thing, we want to do them the best job that we can, and in order to do that, we just have to be patient. And we'll see what happens the second 100, Glenn.
Well, I think he might have the thing figured out today, guys, because he told me that the truck felt real good getting in, just a little loose getting off. All the rest of the guys were real loose getting off.
Well, buddy, that's a big difference in his first half standings from last week, and I think also in their approach to how they want to run this race.
Well, Mike, this is a high-speed chess game right now, and we got the first part of the game over with. They got all the things sorted out they need to do. All these trucks right now. Second half, it's going to be grab it and growl. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I wonder how many of the fellows in this first half were just sort of setting up for their second half run, the trucks that are on the lead lap. Let's show you our race summary for the first half of today's event. Only 2 leaders, Ron Hornaday and Mike Skinner, just the one lead change. 73-mile-an-hour average speed, roughly. And that caution flag for Kenny Schrader. Only 6 laps under caution, but Schrader fell down 2 laps from the field. And those, Gary Ballou lost a lap and then took his car back to the back pit. Man who put on the show was the man on the bottom, fighting for position once again, Rick Corelli. Here's Glenn.
I can't believe how calm and cool this guy looks after the show he just put on, charging from the back. Took you a little longer than maybe expected, but you made your way up there, Rick.
Yeah, when I got up there, you know, I didn't have a lot of right rear left, trying to use it up to get to the front, but this second half, we'll see where we're at. We're just trying to put a little strategy together, what we need to do, and try and keep the truck a little tighter when we need to leave.
Well, now, we talked about and documented the changes that you made on the truck after your first victory here. Now, I want to know, as an interested observer, did it feel better? Did it feel worse? Pretty much the same? Tell us how it felt.
About 25 laps into the race, which I figured the truck car bounced right back out. I just had a problem qualifying it, and didn't have enough stagger in the tire. And then right towards the end there, we got the right side tires pretty hot, trying to get underneath Hornaday, pinching it off, and we gained about a 1/4 inch of stagger. But I think it's going to be a good truck. I mean, actually, the way the Chevrolet designed the front end and everything, I mean, it balanced itself right out.
You put a lot of heat on Hornaday there. It looks like you wanted to pass him before that halfway mark. Didn't quite make it. Have you got something for him in the second half?
Well, I hope so. You know, I think I used everything up trying to get up to him. They kept telling me on the radio we were about a tenth and a half faster than the leaders, but when I got to him, it's a whole different story. You know, once you get up there, you got to try and drive by them. But those guys up there are running tough, but they'll be on new tires too the second half. So maybe we can get a big line up there, and maybe we can make a good race and give some shots on TNN that everybody likes to see.
Well, we've liked what we've seen so far. Great racing between Corelli, Hornaday, and Mike Skinner. It's going to be fun the second half, guys.
I think it is, Glenn. Thanks. Remember that story I told you 2 weeks ago about the car owner at Atlanta that was spread out under his car trying to fix things when he found out he had a new sponsor for next year? We can pay off that story after this. To halftime here at NASCAR Winter Heat, while they're working on the SuperTruck, we'll do the story from Winston Cup land. At Atlanta International Raceway, Gail Davis was standing alongside the Davis Racing Pontiac. Bill Davis was underneath helping change the flywheel, and you had a sponsor that you were trying to get lined up, and he came up to you looking for Bill.
Yes, he did. Thank goodness.
Where'd you tell him he was?
Well, he was under the car working away as any good car owner should be.
And what did that fellow tell you?
He said, you know, if you can work out the details with Dave here, we got a deal.
and now the story can be told, Bill. What's the deal?
Well, we've got a great new sponsor with the bank, MBNA, and you know, they've come on board for 3 years, and it's just they're really great people, and they're the people that do the NASCAR credit card with all the drivers' pictures on them, and you know, they're going to be a wonderful sponsor. We're really excited about it.
Well, congratulations. A great Cinderella story, and they have a new driver for that car, and he's right here on my left. Randy LaJoie steps out of the Busch Series, the occasional Winston Cup start over the years. I know you're really tickled about the opportunity to replace Bobby Labonte in the Davis's car.
I tell you what, the Davis has a wonderful organization. I'm glad to be part of them. And I tell you what, we couldn't do it unless it wasn't for the MBNA people. And I hope everybody out there has a happy and safe holiday. And if they want to make it happier, they can pick themselves up an MBNA NASCAR credit card and do what I do after the green flag drops, and that's just charge it.
Do all that holiday shopping. Randy, we look forward to seeing you run to the front next year.
I tell you, I'm going to give it all I've got, and I'd like to say hello to my family back home and all my friends. And it's nice out here in Phoenix or Tucson, and I can't wait. I tell you, we got some great racing out here in these trucks, and I got the adrenaline going. I'm ready to go racing next week.
Okay, glad to have you folks join us out here for part of Winter Heat. Let's go back to the pit area. Glenn Jarrett.
Let's check in with Ken Schrader. Ken, looked like that thing got a little bit loose out there.
It ain't been a real good day so far. Yeah, it got real loose. We tried some stuff and it didn't work, and we lost the coil wire on that first deal, and that got us 2 laps right off the bat. And today would be a good day for Scotty to be driving.
Well, he's talking about Scott Lagacy, who is going to drive this truck full-time next year. He's standing by also. Let's talk with him. Scott, you're obviously an interested observer in what's going on here. Big break for your career, though.
Oh, boy, isn't it terrific? I just can't say enough about this opportunity that Rick Kendrick and Jeff Gordon and DuPont Racing's given me. And we're excited. I'm here watching Kenny, trying to help out any way I can. And he's training the truck pretty good. Have a couple problems, but we're going to get them sorted out.
Well, I know that you're excited about what's coming up, and Ken Schrader has worked with you in the past to be with the Hendrick organization. Everything's got to be the biggest thing that happened in your life.
Boy, is it. I tell you, Christmas came early about a week ago, and it's going to be Christmas probably all through 95 for me. So, a lot to learn. Great organization, though. Jimmy Johnson and the guys at Hendrick Motorsports. I couldn't think of a better place to be.
Well, like I said, he's going to try to help them get this thing sorted out. As you heard Schrader say, it might be a good day for Scott to be in there. Scott's happy where he is. We'll be back for the restart right after this message.
Welcome back to NASCAR Winter Heat, live on TNN. Mike Joy with Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, and our special guest, Johnny Benson, Busch Grand National Rookie of the Year, as they work along on P.J. Jones, #1 Ford. During our halftime break, a little bit of rear end work there. Let's show you what happened earlier today as the Tucson Raceway Park NASCAR Winston Racing Series Super Late Models took to the track for their 30-lap feature event. Fastest qualifier and on the pole, Carlos Serrano in the Taco Bell machine. On the outside, Paul Banghart, who won here in week #1. Right from the get-go, it was Serrano with Banghart running a close second. Down on the bottom, number 74, Carl Trimmer in third. But Banghart got up in the loose stuff.
Boy, did he ever. I mean, he could have wiped the car out. This is the big wreck he had down in the corner.
Car number 8 appeared to lose an engine and oil line. Todd Izzo. There was no caution thrown, and a 4-car wreck ensued. Number 48, Sean Monroe, got the aggressive move of the day, not once but several times. Herschel McGriff Jr. spun, got hit not once but twice, knocked the rear end about 3 feet back, and knocked him out of the race. 95 was able to continue. There's Banghart running on the bottom for second place. Again, 55, Bill Brandon.
Yeah, Bill Brandon ran super good race all day. Very competitive. Didn't have quite enough to win, but boy, was he ever competitive.
For fourth place at the final lap of the race, it got a little exciting. Look at that white 95 hang on. Jimmy Hudson had the drive of the day to keep from getting dumped right there. But Carlos Serrano brought his Taco Bell Olds to victory lane over Bill Brandon, Paul Banghart, Carl Trimmer, and Rod Schultz. The 95X finished 5th. Glenn?
Is on P.J. Jones, P.J. Jones's truck, I want to say car. The problem that you saw right before we went away to show those highlights, up underneath P.J.'s truck, on the very last lap, as the caution flew for the halfway break, the rear end burned completely out of P.J.'s truck. So you talk about good timing. He was fortunate today. They did put a new rear end in, new gearing. He's off and running. You can see him spinning the tires, getting out of here. But boy, was he lucky that it came along at that time. Just barely managed to finish everything, get him back on the track in time for the second half here. So a bad break turned into a good break for P.J.
That could be good or bad. If he had another gear of the same ratio, but most people, they put their best gear in the truck to bring it over here to race. So he either has one that's maybe 2 or 3 teeth difference or whatever, but normally you don't carry 2 same gears in a truck.
We're going to get set to go with the second half of this one, buddy. I don't even have a joke for that. We'll be right back. If you're looking
coverage of the NASCAR Winter Heat Series.
Back to Winter Heat. The spotters up there in turn number 2 as we're on the caution and getting set to go. Let's check with Glenn.
Well, buddy, you mentioned that there might be concern about the ratio of the gear that they put in P.J.'s truck. Well, they did go a couple of points higher, not a whole lot higher, but you know that may help him as slick as the racetrack is. Of course, it has also cooled off considerably. A little bit of a cloud cover coming over us right now, so it's a good, I think, 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees cooler than it was when halftime ended. But they're not too concerned about the ratio. They think that it might help the truck hook up just a little better.
Thanks, Glenn. Light is out on the pace truck, so Mike Skinner will start up front. Ron Hornaday second, Rick Corelli third, Mike Chase, P.J. Jones all on the lead lap, Toby Butler, then T.J. Clark, Craig Hewickson, Mike Bliss, Dave Ashley, Kenny Schrader, Walker Evans, Mike Hurlbert, Steve McEachran, Gary Ballou, and Kerry T. 100 laps to go. And Hornaday gets a good jump off the top of the corner as they come to green. He's out a little ahead of Mike Skinner.
Well, Mike, it's going to be real important. Hornaday got a good lead a while ago, and then Mike Skinner run him down after 15, 20 laps. But you see, he's fighting back right here. He does not want to give this position up because Ron Hornaday is a very hard man to pass.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It looks like they're racing for the win here, but it looks like...
Maybe they are.
Yeah.
Well, now Hornaday has to try it on the bottom.
I just believe that Skinner's hooked up good enough. He'll be able to hold Hornaday in second place there. Skinner really gets forward bite up out of the corner. You'll see him pull right here, pull almost 2 truck lengths getting off the corner here over Hornaday.
Rick Corelli settled into third. Fourth is a battle. P.J. Jones gets underneath Mike Chase, takes fourth away. Chase is fifth. There's P.J. in the number 1. Mike Chase, 21.
You know, one thing about Tucson, Mike, if you don't like the weather, just sit still. It'll change for you. Right now, it's a lot cooler. You have a little overcast. The racing surface ought to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, there's one advantage. It's going to be nice here, too. Coming out of 4, that sun's going to be gone. And I tell you what, I didn't even think about it during the break last time. Didn't take that window off, and I tell you, it was tough getting off that corner.
There's that overcast you see up there from the onboard camera on Rick Corelli's Chevy truck.
Look how good P.J. Jones gets in the corner. That is a very good race truck getting in the corner, but he's not quite as quick down. You see him gain up now. He's going to look on the outside of Corelli's truck there. That's our Cameron Corelli's number 6 truck, the second truck in this shot right here.
Yeah, the temperature is dropping like airline stocks did last week. It's getting pretty cool out here.
Look at P.J. now. He changed a couple of points on the gear right now, and he seems to have that forward drive coming up under Corelli there, trying to make that move to get into third place.
Yeah, that might be an advantage for him, changing that gear. I mean, you don't know how much damage it did to the rest of the rear end, but, you know, we're definitely going to see here, and I think that gear might help him here.
Let's check with Glenn on the gearing on P.J.'s truck.
Well, it's obvious to see that you can pick the throttle up more with that higher gear. You don't tend to spin the wheels as much way down on the bottom of the racetrack like that. And he's really doing a good job. I tell you, if it, like Johnny says, if it did not damage the rear end of the truck, he may have something for everybody there, because I haven't seen him get the thing loose yet, guys. That high gear definitely has helped P.J. Jones.
He moves ahead of Rick Corelli.
Whoa! That's as close as you can get right there without making a hood ornament out of a race truck.
Yeah, I think P.J., he's going to be tough here at the end. You know, it's going to be interesting to see just how the guys up front there, Mike Skinner and Ron Hornaday, are running really good now, but I think P.J. is going to be right there.
He was last time out with the trucks on our winter heat opener. The longer the race ran, the better P.J. did. Well, he's got an IndyCar future with Toyota, but we asked him if he's going to run more trucks.
Well, definitely. I mean, it's a lot of fun. You know, my first priority has been the IndyCar testing, but, you know, for right now, I mean, I need something else to do, and this really fits into my schedule, and I like it. You know, it's good, close racing. I mean, you saw the last time we were, you know, really battling, and, you know, if every race is like that, I mean, that's what racing is.
P.J. Jones been testing for Dan Gurney, All-American Racers, in what will be the new Toyota IndyCar. Had a great Campbell GT, and previous to that, off-road and open wheel.
You see Corelli's truck coming out of the second corner just then. The back end actually slapped the wall just a little bit. He's a little bit loose right now, but he seems to get better as he goes along. He was completely out of the picture the first part of the race a while ago and then clawed his way up through the traffic. Right now he's running back on P.J. and seems to be closing in just a little bit. He can drive a race truck when it's really loose.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to be a big advantage for him, though. You know, when you start out loose, it's going to be tough, but there's no doubt if anybody can overcome that, Rick Corelli's going to be able to do that here today.
Mike Skinner now getting reeled in by Ron Hornaday going into the corner.
Well, it looks to me like Hornaday's losing a little ground right now because you see P.J. trying to move in on the bottom side of Hornaday. And just a few seconds ago, here comes Corelli on the bottom side, third place right now.
Lap ago at turn 2, Corelli really climbed up high, got kind of up and over the groove. Corelli drops down.
Looks like both P.J. and Ron Hornaday are just a tad tight right now, and I think that's going to come around here in a little bit, you know, as long as it's not a severe push.
Now, for the folks at home, how do you see that? What shows you from watching the monitor that these cars are tight?
Well, I'll tell you, that in-car camera that Rick Corelli had, it was, you could see that PJ's not fighting the truck at all. He just, you know, got a good turn on the steering wheel, and he's leaving it there coming off the corner. And, you know, that shows us it's just a slightly tight or just a little bit of a push. And, you know, that's not going to be bad, though. I think that's going to be good here in a little bit.
Mike, if it's real severe, you'll see the left front wheel just turn right outside the fender there. It's like if you turn in your driveway and you hit sand and your car tries to go across the driveway. That's exactly what a push feels like.
Yeah, and it doesn't look that bad, so I think he's going to be good, you know, here once we, you know, get some more laps on that.
120 laps complete, 80 to go. You're listening to Johnny Benson.
Ooh.
Ouch! P.J. Jones up into the side of Rick Corelli.
That's called a little contact there. You notice he's put a little nose damage there on the right front corner, but they both race very hard. Nobody's mad about this. This is good short track racing right now, and they're just trying to go as fast as they can. And if they touch a little bit, they know they don't mean to try to knock them out.
Well, these are trucks, you know. It's not like a car where you got to keep it nice and shiny. The little scrapes ain't going to hurt these trucks.
I don't know. They're as nice as any Western Cup car I've ever seen. I'll tell you, they're beautiful.
They're a beautiful truck.
Well, while these three battle, Mike Skinner's taken off just a bit, leaving it Ron Hornaday to try to hold second. There is your leader, Mike Skinner. He is alone on the back straightaway. They lap past Mike Hurlburt.
Mike, one of the great things of being in the lead is you can run exactly where your truck feels is best around the racetrack. Pick up the throttle when you want to, ease it down in the corner, take care of your tires. If you're racing like these guys are right now, you're abusing everything on your truck.
PJ into Corelli just a little bit there. Skinner has a lead now of 1.3 seconds over Hornaday.
Hornaday's in trouble right now. He's not able to get back in the throttle and make the move that he needs to make. Corelli should get by him, but I'm going to tell you, Ron Hornaday, as you've seen in the past couple of weeks, is not an easy subject.
No. He has won the last 2 weeks here on TNN Winter Heat. Won the Winston West race and the Featherlight Southwest Tour event last week over Garrett Evans and Kevin Harvick.
Boy, that's a luxury for a driver right there, to be able to turn under a guy at full speed and get that track position. You see they touched just a little bit getting ready to go in the corner. Hornaday turned down just a little bit. Corelli's right up against that quarter-pound going down the back straightaway.
And PJ in the number 1 truck's looking for just anywhere that's left.
Oh, he's happy right now. He knows he's going to be able to move. He's got a very good truck. Corelli ought to open the door for him on Hornaday when he does make the move.
Riding with Rick Corelli.
Got to be interesting to see where PJ goes here, because, you know, it's definitely quick. Well, there he goes on the outside. If he can hold Corelli down there, if Corelli can't get by Hornaday, he's going to be, you know, going back a spot or two.
How long can Corelli stay on the bottom like that without abusing his tires enough for Hornaday to get an advantage again?
Well, I'm not sure. We got a truck here, number 54, spinning down here in turn 4 here, so I think there'd be a...
It's a caution. Steve McEachran brings out the caution. You know, I think everybody thought there would be more Super Trucks this week, and indeed that was the hope. Some of the Ford teams are waiting for the new Ford front-end fiberglass and sheet metal design to be finalized before they get here, as we'll have another look at McEachran's spin. And Butch Stevens tells us he has 18 trucks back ordered that they are working hard to finish. Hutcherson Pagan's in the same situation. Ronnie Hopkins is building trucks as this series gets bigger and better every week. At 130 laps, we have the first caution of the second half of this event. We'll be right back. Again, McEachran spin because it came right in front of leader Mike Skinner.
Well, it don't matter how good you run. You look right now, Mike Skinner is in a very bad spot. If he'd have backed off the brake right there and shot back up the racetrack, Mike Skinner would have had no alternative but to plow right into him. So this thing's by no means over with, is it, Johnny?
No, I tell you what, Mike did the right choice there. And, you know, it's one of them things that a driver hates to see that right in front of you, especially when you're leading.
Back under green at lap 135 now. And there's Corelli and P.J. Jones side by side. And the 12 truck, Toby Butler, up high. Venable Racing Machine.
Yeah, I'd like to say, you know, Toby Butler went that lap down there just about one lap before that halfway. And You know, we had a sponsor here with a Performance Friction Carbon Metallic there. You know, brake pads, and they were on our truck, and I see they switched and got on his truck too, to our misfortune, and I'm glad to see them people getting in here and sponsoring the trucks.
Well, I'm glad you seen that. Boy, Ron Hornaday got a bad break on that restart there. He got hung up behind Toby Butler just a little bit, and you can see right now Mike Skinner checked out about 8 or 10 truck lengths, but they're running him down. They have a really good groove right now. Here comes P.J. Jones right up beside of Rick Pirelli going down in turn 3.
I think if PJ gets some running room here, sees a little loose coming off that corner, and take a couple laps, he's going to get back there again. If he can get by these next two trucks here, Crowley and Hornaday, I'll tell you what, he's going to chase down the leader there.
And trouble on the 6th place truck, Craig Hewardson. The AC Delco Chevy out of Newport Richey, Florida, heads off to the pit area.
I noticed the Mike Bliss truck was smoking just a little bit. He's going on the outside, going to the pits right now also.
So that's got to be a big change for him coming from the midgets to these trucks. That's.
And there they go off to the back pit area as caution comes out. Glenn?
Running Mike Bliss and the 8 truck, they got together on the racetrack. Bliss had a lot of right side damage. He got into the wall, and it looked like that possibly Craig Hewardson, truck number 8, might have got into him. I don't know if he calls that or not, but there was damage to the left front of his truck. So both those trucks make contact together, and the 6 truck definitely got into the wall. So we'll go back and see how serious the damage is. Give you a report back a little later on.
Steve McEachran has also taken his truck to the pits under this caution period. You are not allowed to change tires under the caution unless that tire is flat or leaking air, in the judgment of the NASCAR official.
Mike, there's one big difference. The first truck race we watched, nobody touched anybody. It was more or less follow the leader. They're beginning to do the old short track thing, which is if you're in the way, a little nudge. If you don't get out of the way pretty soon, I'm going to have to take that spot from you.
It's not new anymore, is that what you're saying?
That's it.
I don't think that's been new all along. It's just short track racing is definitely good, tight racing. These guys are putting on a good battle today.
You were watching Pace Truck Cam there. Gary Ballou back out. Mike Skinner at the front of the field behind the Pace Truck. And they'll look for green next time. Toby Butler trying to get his lap back. Gary Ballou down on the inside, and Walker Evans in the Dodge, number 20.
Mike, he probably got the most applause of anybody here in this truck race because he is standing by himself, the only Dodge out here, and boy, the people really appreciate him being here.
There he is, number 20, third in line on the inside. A lot of Mopar fans out here.
That's got to be a tough transition going from the big bumps to the smooth racetracks.
I'll tell you, this week he has, I would say that truck is 300% better than it was last time out here.
Boy, I am so impressed with Mike Skinner. He is doing a super good job. He will have to make a mental error because that truck is so good right now, but he's got a man right behind him there, Ron Hornaday, that really, if he gets up there, he'll put as much pressure as Mike Skinner ever wants.
Okay, Bliss and Hewardson are back on the racetrack.
Yeah, I don't think Mike Skinner's going to make that mistake. They got a good wrench, got a great truck there, and you know, them guys are going to have to run it real hard.
P.J. Jones on the bottom, 3 wide. Gary Ballou on the high side, trying to get some laps back.
P.J. got that spot. He got ahead of Corelli there just by really putting that truck in a spot where he could slide and move and take that spot away.
Now they go after Gary Ballou, not for position. Ballou a couple laps down. Mike Chase, that, I'll call it yellow. I don't know what color it is on your set. But that Ortho Chemical truck number 21. Looking underneath Pirelli now. Mike Chase, Winston West champ, dives underneath Gary Ballou.
He was fast here, was a week ago, and had some mechanical problems, so he gets around this racetrack really good.
You know, I think maybe Pirelli right now is in that little mode where we talk about. You just ease off just a little bit, give those tires time to rebound a little bit, and then he'll make his move back up. He's starting to reel in PJ just as we speak.
Like I say, there's a little bit more than 50 laps to go, and you know, he's going to take it easy there for a little bit.
Mike Chase has done a great job in this 21 truck today. He says that he loves this, and I'll tell you one thing, Winston West champion, he knows how to get around this racetrack. He will get this truck where it'll be in a contender the next time we come over here.
Very enthusiastic young fellow, too. He was just tickled to have the chance to come out here and run. There's the 12, Toby Butler, the Venable Racing Ford. Down to the inside, got the heavy move over flag to allow Rick Corelli and Mike Chase pass to have a chance to get up there and battle with P.J. Jones. 50 laps to go. And Hornaday is beginning to close the gap on Mike Skinner, your leader, in the GM Goodwrench number 3.
Hey, Mike's running an awful high line there. It'd be nice if we keep it down just underneath that yellow line a little bit. Otherwise, he might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Well, you can see as he backed off there, shooting a little fire out of there. That's just a little exhaust leak. That's not a problem on the truck. But Ron Hornaday's turned the wick up on his truck. He's running a little bit wider, even getting in the corner, than Mike Skinner is. And it might be a little bit better groove that he's running. You notice how wide he is coming off his corner. Yeah, they're getting everything he can get out of the racetrack right now.
I think that's why you're seeing that little bit of flame now, is that it looks like Mike's picked up a little bit more of a push than he wanted. And he's got to stay off that gas pedal a little bit longer, and that's why we're seeing that flame.
Well, if you're trying to figure who to order your truck from, there's a Ronnie Hopkins truck out front, then 4 Hutcherson-Pagan chassis, then the first of the BSR Hess machines.
I think right now they're all great chassis. It's who's going to hit the right combination quickest right now. I think this three truck right now has just gained so much momentum from the first race that he has to be proud no matter what happens the rest of this race, because he has really made an improvement on this truck.
156 laps complete as Mike Skinner holds off Ron Hornaday. You see P.J. Jones closing right up on Hornaday now. This battle for second place. Deja vu of 3 weeks ago. Ron Hornaday's won 2 of the 3 winter heat races so far. He's the man to beat. Ron?
I hope so. You know, we got a lot of tough competitors again this week, but you know, we went out testing this week. We found a little bit more. Last time here was the first time with the truck, so coming down here every week and getting more lap time, it seems to be helping us. So hopefully we got the truck there, and then hopefully I can do the job we need to do.
Mike, as you can see, P.J. Jones has really moved in on Hornaday now. He's so steady. He reminds me so much of Cale Yarber's style. Cale Yarber, I'd pull up beside him just before a restart after a yellow flag, and he'd pull his doggone gloves up past his elbow. You knew he was in trouble, and this guy is just steady Eddie. He's there every week.
Well, this is looking like deja vu all over again, because late in the race, back in our first SuperTruck event, P.J. Jones just steadily ate away at Hornaday's second spot, passed him like he's trying to do right now as they lap Steve McEachran. Oh, no!
Nice move. Still side by side. Oh, just a little contact there.
How did they get away with that?
Boy, I tell you what, that's 2 pit bulls right there. Just who wants it the most, and right now PJ's got the spot.
Yeah, it looks like Ron Hornaday just bumped in the wall there in the backstretch. I don't know if that probably, it's not going to hurt the truck none, but it's he definitely got up there and bumped the wall there in the backstretch.
Well, he better go for everything it's worth, because Hornaday side by side with him up the back straightaway.
Yeah, you don't edge Hornaday into the wall and then let him down under the next lap, do you?
Well, it looks like they both just got a little loose off turn 2 there, and I tell you, it's just great racing.
That allowed Mike Skinner to expand his lead to about, 16 truck lengths. 12 if they're long bed trucks.
There you go.
Well, as you can see, PJ right there, he's getting everything that truck has right now. He's got a good groove. He's not fighting the truck. He's not loose getting off the corner. If he gets any kind of break at all, he can go right up to the lead.
165 laps to go. It is Mike Skinner out in front. We'll be right back. Did I say 165 to go? Of course I didn't. 165 complete. Now it's 173. P.J. Jones not yet knocking on the door, but he's getting ready to ring the bell on Mike Skinner here. Let's show you a little bit ago what happened between Jones and Hornaday.
Well, they come out of the corner there. You see that truck fishtail just a little bit on the bottom. Hornaday gets in the outside wall.
I don't think he didn't rub on him, but when he saw P.J. getting a little bit loose, he did actually give him a little bit of room, and just a little bit too much room, though, I think.
Well, this is incredible. P.J. Jones has run him down over a straightaway now, and he's much faster in this part of the racetrack. In the center part of the corner, he is really eating him alive. I tell you, Mike Skinner's got a little bit of handling problem right now. And P.J. Jones, if he gets in the right spot, I believe he can get by him. Just a little loose there.
Glenn?
Well, guys, I went and checked with Skinner's crew to find out exactly what was going on. They pointed to the sky. The weather is the cause of his problems right now. They said the change in the track temperature definitely affected the way it handles. What I'm seeing is it looks like the truck pushes getting in the corner. He's having to turn the wheel so much. Then when he picks up the throttle, he's got the wheel turned too much. It breaks the back end loose. That has enabled PJ to run him down, and right now he's under him, and I think he's going to be able to make the pass.
Glenn, how much colder would you say it is right now than when we started this race?
Mike, it's a good 10, 12 degrees colder. There is a noticeable difference. I couldn't believe, really, when we started the race, and you see PJ has just moved around Skinner. Skinner's going to try to get on the low side, and I don't believe he'll get it. But it's a good 10 to 12 degrees cooler out here, Mike, and it is very, very noticeable.
Boy, oh boy, PJ made that look so easy. He got up there, he got to squeezing just a little bit. What he did, he took all the inside groove away where Skinner couldn't turn down at all, took that spot away, moved right up the side of him, going in the next corner, preferred line, he moved right ahead.
Tell you what, he is every bit the driver his dad was.
Boy, I tell you what, he's incredible. I love the second generation group when they start running and watch them grow up. I mean, they're something to watch.
Well, you're one of them.
Well, I'm not talking about myself.
Well, you are.
These guys are really exciting to watch, and P.J. Jones can make it in any event, but I'm so glad to see him in the SuperTruck division because he adds a lot of class to it.
Here's Ron Hornaday now, making the move as P.J. moves around Walker Evans. Hornaday is going to try Mike Skinner for second.
Mike is a never-ending story. When the chassis starts going away, boy, that's so aggravating. Dominant truck, 3/4 of the race right now. He's fighting his life off for second.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job and not, just keeping the truck where he's even at, Like I say, there's only 17
to go.
17 to go, and it's bad that it happens now, like you say, rather than earlier on in the race.
Yeah, this is the second time he's had a little handling problem, but he's handling it so much better than the first time. He's really, right now, the biggest thing he has to do is tell himself not to overdrive the truck and not try to do something that's not capable of doing. But he's got a good second place right now going for him, and I'm sure he's more proud of this, and no matter what happens, they've made a lot of changes on this truck to make it better.
Yeah, I would say Skinner and Walker Evans have made the greatest gains with their trucks from the last time we were here.
Yeah, you can see when Mike got away from Ron there a little bit, he actually started to pull away, like you say. He doesn't have the pressure behind him. He smoothed out a little bit, and I think he held it up there in second place.
T.J. Clark, the number 23, down on the inside the Castrol truck. There's Walker Evans right behind Hornaday. The Barbary Coast Dodge. Painted up very much like his off-road rigs.
Well, you see Hornaday right now. Right in the center part of the corner, Mike Skinner's having so much trouble picking the throttle up. I don't know whether it's a loose or push condition, but he's having trouble in the center of the racetrack there, and you can see Ron Hornaday right now starting to close up on him.
There's a look at Walker Evans, the off-road master. Little pavement underneath his tires here, and giving a good account of himself as the only Dodge in the field here. Mike Skinner's trying to hold on for 12 more laps to that second spot.
Mike Skinner's saying, thank God for lap traffic right now. He don't have to contend with Hornaday as long as there's somebody on the inside. But as I say that, he moves up to make it 3 wide down the front straightaway.
3 wide on Dave Ashley. Down on the bottom of the racetrack as they get past Clark. There's Ashley and Ultra Wheels, California Ford Dealers, number 2. Boy, Skinner is just hanging on to it.
Well, he's doing a good job right now because the truck is really not handling like it was. Hornaday, he's going to make him earn it.
10 to go.
Okay, Hornaday's making the move on the bottom part of the racetrack going in the corner.
Looks like they're doing a little bump in there, but looks like, Ron's going to get by him, and it's going to be tough for Skinner to get back by him. Like you say, the truck's just not quite right. He's going to try there at the inside. It'd be interesting to see him get by him here.
Well, you don't buy any decals on the right front fender of Hornaday's truck, because when he gets to victory lane, you can't read them. They're gone.
I can tell you this, they're fighting it out. Who says they don't race as hard back in the field? This is the second place right now, but they are rubbing paint. They are doing everything they can. Skinner's moved to the inside, took the spot away. Hornaday come back on the outside and takes the spot back.
7 to go.
They're going to go right down to the end this way,
Yes, they
too.
are.
Inside, outside. There.
Whoa!
Ron got a little loose. That might have hurt him right there.
I like it. This is, how much muscle do you have? As much as you do.
That was a slick move.
That was a great move there. I think Mike Skinner shows everybody right now he's going to be a force in truck racing, and I'm so glad to see him get a chance in a Richard Childress prepared truck.
And a lot of people said, Mike who? You know, when Richard picked him to drive the truck, and I think there was some head shaking after the first time they were here, but I think Skinner has really redeemed himself. Last time out here, sat on the pole, faded, you know, ran a bunch of laps out front, and then faded well back. This time he's given a great account of himself.
5 laps to go. They're going to fight it out for second spot. The reason we're not showing you P.J. Jones, he's out there in front right by himself doing everything it takes to win the race. Second place is the fight right now.
Yeah, those guys are really using the top part of the track because they know that the top, well, I was going to say the top's good, but, you know, like I say, the bottom's good here. Looks like he's...
Oh!
Yeah. He's a little bit of the track, but I think Mike, he'll get back behind you. Watch you get down underneath him, and they'll do the same thing for the next 3 laps.
I don't know. Hornaday made a pretty even move there. I think he had to check up on the brake pedal just a little bit, or they would have made some contact coming off the corner there.
That was kind of forceful.
Here comes Skinner on the bottom side, as you said. Oh, a little touch there, got him sideways. Hornaday made a great recovery there. That's the one place you can dump somebody in a minute.
There's no doubt you hate to get hit in the left rear quarter panel going into the corner.
And these are not dump trucks.
White flag.
1 to go.
White flag. Well, I know Hornaday's going, uh-oh.
He's going to give it one more shot through 3 and 4, and we're just, you know, he's got a, he's
got a little loose off 2 there. I don't believe he's going to be able to make a run at him.
No, he's done a great job, there's no doubt.
Checkered flag for P.J. Jones. Here comes the battle for second. Ron Hornaday will hold on to second, and Mike Skinner has a great race to finish third. Unofficially, Rick Corelli is fourth, and Winston West champion Mike Chase will finish fifth in SuperTruck 2. We'll be right back with you live on TNN after this. Johnny Benson, Glenn Jarrett, rest of our TNN team, as P.J. Jones is the man in victory lane, getting congratulated by the Scoop Vessels crew. So it's Chevy 1, Ford 1 as SuperTruck 2 comes to conclusion here. Glenn Jarrett's in victory lane.
Well, guys, I got a great job. I get to talk to guys that just won racing and are always happy. But I want to tell you what, I can't think of many people that gives me more pleasure to congratulate than P.J. Jones. Great job, man.
Hey, this one's for Paige, man. We haven't had a win, you know, in a while. We haven't been racing a lot, but, you know, hey, this is his ride. And like I said, he'd be here if I wasn't in the truck. So he's, hopefully we'll have a 100% comeback in American Racing, Traders, Vessels. I mean, we couldn't do it without him. And the crew, we had a broken rear end on the halfway point right at the right time. They changed the rear end in, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They did a great job.
Well, when you started reeling Mike Skinner in there after you got by Hornaday and you took over second, just all at once, it looked like you ran up on Skinner. What was going on? We looked like Skinner was having some problems, but your truck really stayed hooked up.
Well, I was just driving it in hard like there was a cushion up there. This place used to be dirt, and I used to run right up on the cushion. So we just drove it in hard, stood on the gas, and it paid off.
All right, I know you're excited. I asked you the question before the race about running more truck races. Does this make you want to run a few more of these things?
Oh, heck yeah. You know, Craftsman, thanks for, you know, the series sponsor. They've done a great job. It's going to be a great series. I think they're going to get a lot out of it. And, you know, this is going to be a big deal next year.
Winning tradition for the Jones family. I know I watched my father race against your father. I used to watch your father win a lot at Riverside out on the West Coast. But it's fun to carry on a family name, isn't it?
Oh, it is. You know, when you like this, you know, this is the grateful moments of racing. You know, we've had, in the last few months, it's been tough. And, you know, hopefully this will lift his spirits a little bit. I know my family, and we'll be back there tonight to see you, Paige.
The last few laps, you started pulling away. It looked like you pretty much had the thing won. Did you start hearing those noises all the guys talk about?
Well, right before I went by Skinner, I told him I think this thing's about ready to blow up, or drive line's about ready to come out. As I felt a vibration, of course, you know, I was thinking, oh, I don't want to see a yellow flag, you know. So, you know, you always get those tense moments, you know, not to think that you can't race him, you know, and beat him again. But like I said, Vessels, he gave me this opportunity. I hope he has you know, he loves the series. It's going to be a good deal.
Congratulations, PJ, and the entire crew. Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Great job, great win, and it wasn't easy. Look at where the Traders truck accessories decal is, or was. he got up, had a little close encounter there.
Mike, if 1,000 restaurants want to hang that somewhere. They're all over the country like that.
I think you're right. Johnny, pretty good show.
Yeah, it sure was. I wish I could have been down there racing against PJ and all the guys down there. But we're going to be back with the Rourke Engineering Chevrolet, and, you know, hopefully we have performance friction pads on our truck again, and we're going to see if we can't win that number 3 race with Chevrolet for number 2 for Chevrolet.
We'll see you back out here January 8th. Once again, congratulations on Busch Grand National Rookie of the Year. I know you're looking forward to that season. Of course, we'll see most of those races on TNN.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. New sponsor, Lipton Tea, and, you know, Base Motorsports teams, they're back there now trying to get the cars now.
Yeah, cars.
That's
$1.
All ready to go.
That's
and, and like I say, we're really looking forward to it.
Well, thanks for joining us. Wish you were out there, but I'm glad you're up here. Johnny Benson Jr., thanks for joining us. We'll have more TNN's Winter Heat live from Tucson after this. NASCAR and TNN Tucson. Yeah,
baby.
All winter long. We got a presentation to make down trackside. Glenn Jarrett has $500 he's just itching to give away.
And that's not often that I want to give away $500, but this is Leon Ruther. He is the winning crew chief. Turn the wrenches for P.J. Jones today. Leon, on behalf of all the Pep Boys stations, Pep Boys stores across the nation, I want to present you this plaque for the Quality Pit Crew Award, and also a check for $500 for your outstanding dedication to quality automotive service. You guys did a great job, particularly getting that gear changed in no time flat.
Well, I think the guys did a heck of a job getting that thing done on the pit stop there, because 10 minutes you just don't do it. We did one earlier today and it took us about 30 minutes, so they did a fine job there to get us back out.
And you got a pretty doggone good driver turning the wheel on that thing too, don't you?
Got the best.
He's certain of that. Congratulations, guys. Great job in the pits.
That's tough duty, buddy, to have to do that under the pressure, getting that car back out on the racetrack. Get enough fluid in it so it won't burn it up and nothing leaks. And are these race fans or what? Why do we keep seeing this? Because we're here, because we're in Tucson. That's why. And it's open range. Now, seriously, folks, it's open range just outside the racetrack. So you could be driving along, no fences, and all of a sudden you could see that.
Well, Mike, you said one thing there. Great crews do what they have to do. And they knew they had just about 10 minutes to change that gear, 30 minutes when they had plenty of time, but 10 minutes when they had to do it. That's why they're getting the award, and my hat's off to this guy. I mean, he ran second the first truck race, and now he won the second time out, and he's going to be tough whenever they show up out here.
A very happy P.J. Jones, a bright spot in these last few months for Parnelli Jones and family. Paige recovering from a nasty open wheel accident, and this is indeed a bright spot for all of them. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Okay, I was introducing him. Guys, this is John Nemechek. Now, we all know his brother Joe. He's a past Busch Grand National champion. Of course, runs the Winston Cup car now. John came up to me before the race today, said he had an announcement to make. I don't know why I can't talk right now. I'm so excited for PJ, and I'm excited for John, too. But, John, you're going to be running one of these trucks. Tell us about it.
Yes, Glenn. We're going to be running the full series for the points championship, and we're going to be driving a Chevrolet, and it's going to be run out of Ruddy Motorsports out of High Point. And the big sponsor we got is Continental and American Transportation Group. It's a fine bunch of people that given us opportunity to do well, so we hope to do so.
Well, congratulations. We're glad to see you out here. We'll be looking for you. John tells me they may get to run the next race on January 8th, but for certain, we'll be ready for the series season opener at Phoenix the first week of February.
Thanks, Glenn. Also out here in the pits today, Tommy Archer, whose Ford pickup race truck is almost finished. Butch Mock, looking forward to a second season with Todd Bodine and Winston Cup. And Cal Wells, who's run Toyota's stadium truck effort. We'll be right back. Don't take winners off. No, we don't. Well, for every happy winning driver, there must be a happy winning car owner. Glenn?
Well, Mike, there's certainly one standing here right now. This is Frank Scoop Vessels, who owns the truck that P.J. Jones drove to victory here today. And, Frank, I know that you're proud of these guys.
Oh, you bet. The the rear end change was really something, and to get back in here and still be in the hunt, and then to turn around and win. PJ did a great job, but the crew did an amazing job.
Well, I know that you're proud of all of them, but I said this to Leon Ruther just now as I made the presentation, and here's PJ coming up right now. Nice moment. I know that you're proud of everybody, but I think you've got a really rising star in this young man standing to your left.
He was a star before I showed up. I'll tell you, he's as much as putting this team together as anybody else here. And, we've got a great crew, great help from everybody he's been involved with in years past. Leon kind of caps it all off and keeps us all together. And to win this early is really something.
Well, it was really something. I told PJ how proud I was for him and of him. The same goes for you guys. But before we go now, they're telling stories. How did you get the nickname Scoop?
Well, I got the nickname Scoop from horse racing. That was my original job when I was a little kid, and I guess I liked it so much when Grandpa nicknamed me Scoop.
Okay, let these guys go off and celebrate a little bit now. Awful happy pair right here, guys.
And next, the story about Rick Mascow, once again, which you've already seen outside the grandstand. He scooped out the stables. That's the story. We'll tell you another one when we come back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Winter Heat. Today in Super Truck 2, Parnelly Jones Jr. put his Ford in victory lane. Ron Hornaday second in a Chevy. Mike Skinner third, Rick Corelli fourth, and Mike Chase fifth.
In sixth place, Toby Butler, first race. Seventh, Dave Ashley. Eighth, Walker Evans, the only Dodge in the field. Kenny Schrader ended up ninth. And then 10th, T.J. Clark.
Mike Bliss was 11th, Craig Hewitson 12th, Gary Ballou, Mike Hurlbert, Steve McEachran, and Kerry Teague, the final rundown. Good show.
Oh, man, you know, each week you say it can't get any better than this. This is a great place for racing. I'll look forward to next week.
And congratulations also to Carlos Serrano, who won our Super Late Model event today. They'll be the headliners next week as NASCAR Winter Heat continues. It's the Great Western West Coast Shootout for those Super Late and elsewhere in the racing world. For Glenn Jarrett, Buddy Baker, and our special thanks to Johnny Benson Jr. for joining us. I'm Mike Joy, congratulating P.J. Jones on his victory in Super Truck 2. See you next Sunday here, folks, live on TNN.